matar, me vou matar. Ti me chama oui, oui. Me vou matar, ti me chama oui. Me vou cagar, ti me chama oui.
So welcome,
Funmi.
Funmi. I'm terrible at pronunciation, but very nice to meet you. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much for having me, and
Lovely.
thank you for inviting us to come.
Yeah, no, it's absolute pleasure. Really looking forward to finding out more about your organisation, and really what you do and what you offer the community and your inspirations for this and so on. So, yeah, really nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome for me. I tell you what,
Yeah.
she's done crazy stuff.
Crazy stuff.
Crazy. Listen to this.
Yeah,
Listen
yeah.
to this, yeah? She's Funmi. She is a BSSG founder and co-director, BME Suffolk Support Group, right?
Wonderful.
Not only that, she is a graduate of BSc Pharmaceutical.
Wow.
Not only that. in
Okay,
science.
there's more.
And, gee, I don't know what's wrong with you for me.
I know, I'm in the wrong profession, I think. I should be in a pharmaceutical company making
I haven't finished.
Okay.
And listen to this. She started a project management. She is a certified foundation and practitioner. She had worked, what's the biggest healthcare?
We're not talking about Glasgow. It's not Glasgow.
Ain't it? It start with N.
What the N? What, the
Start with
NHS? The
N.
NHS.
Yes.
Wonderful.
In London.
Yeah.
And she has supported the Suffolk as a gateway assessor,
Wow.
an advisor, benefit as a general advisor in employment, housing, and immigration.
Wow. So I see where all of these things are starting to piece together to
Jesus
create
Christ.
what you've now kind of, founded and created.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's wrong with you then?
Nothing is wrong. It's just
This is a term of phrase that Cedric often uses. What's wrong with you? I think it's his way of saying, how did you manage to do everything in your lifetime? How did you manage to do all of this?
To be honest, I don't know. I think it's just the journey of life, and also when you've gone through so much in life, it kind of humbles you, and you want to push more. If you have the ability to do more, I always say to people, push yourself to be the best in whatever you find your hands to do.
Yeah.
So, and that's it. That's my motto.
That's
every
great
day.
advice.
Yeah.
That is great, isn't it?
Yeah. So what was it? What was it in your life that has inspired you to create this this company?
Yeah, it looks like a dream. Every time people pour all these, thank you for all the stuff you put together. I'm just me. I'm not impressed with all these things you've mentioned, because to me, they're just title, they're just certificate. But what really matters is changing people's life.
Yeah.
I came to this country as a student immigrant in this country, and and having to navigate immigration in this country is a war. And up till now it is, and it's something that I'm really passionate about. It's something I'm still campaigning about. The immigration rule for non-EU, especially from people from Africa, the laws and the rules is, if you really know the way it works, you will know that something just have to be done to make life easier for people. And like I said, yes, I studied BSc in pharmaceutical science. When I was in London, I went to uni in London. I went to college here. I'm a certified project manager. I taught the project management as well. And at some point in my life, with all these things you have, if you don't have the right, if you don't actually skate through immigration, it makes you feel like you're no one. No matter how knowledgeable you are, no matter how intelligent you are, no matter what you've accomplished in life, the immigration rules for the minority groups in this country. It
Yeah.
makes you feel like you're nobody. And having gone through all of that in life,
Yeah.
and then I say to myself that if I'm this knowledgeable,
Yeah.
and I went to college here, uni here, postgraduate, and all of this,
Yeah.
and I still have to go through all that I went through before I could get my
A
status
job
or
or
stable.
yeah, yeah.
Then what chance does people who does not
Without
even
these
understand,
qualifications,
who doesn't
any-
even understand the way the system
No,
works?
no, no.
Yeah.
What chance do they have?
Yeah.
I have.
I
all
don't
my
understand how the system works.
That
I
is
really
the-
don't.
Exactly.
I have no idea. I'm completely ignorant to it
I
all.
don't blame you, and it's not something that majority people knows because
Yeah.
it only affects particular group of people.
Yeah.
So it only affects the ethnic group. So whatever there is doesn't affect majority. You don't see it on the mainstream platform. You don't see it published anywhere.
And I feel very uneducated and very
So-
ignorant to that. And I can't say that I've made negative judgments. Lots of people make negative judgments because they don't know anything about it. I'm not that uneducated that I would never, just judge someone based on the fact that they're an immigrant. Not at all. But I know nothing about it. I know
Yeah.
nothing about that process.
Yeah.
I don't know what people go through. So it's really hard to empathise, and I'm a really
That's
empathetic
true.
person.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
And that is why BME started.
Yeah.
That is what makes BME to be established the way it is
Yeah.
today. And that is why I decided to say, okay, somebody have to do something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The world needs to know the struggle of these people.
Yeah.
Why are they being classified as marginalized or disadvantaged? Is because there is all these things that have been put into laws and rules
Yeah.
that actually prevent a lot of people, and it costs them additional financial support.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
before I go today, I will leave you guys some materials. I will send it
Yeah.
to Cedric as well. You can
That would
read
be
about
amazing.
it.
Oh man.
And then
Yeah.
you would begin to understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That even as an immigrant, even if two parents at the time you have your children, even though you have right to stay in the country, but because
Yeah.
if you haven't got
Yeah.
indefinite leave to remain at that point, your child is not classified as British. And other people are paying
Yeah.
£70 for them to get British passport for their
Passports,
children. But
Yeah.
we are having to pay £1,012 for each of the child you have in this country. And we're all talking about cost of living and all of this.
Yeah,
But these
yeah.
are additional money that
Yeah.
this particular group of people have to pay in order for them to be here.
That's right.
And that's
yeah.
just for their kids, It's the same. And this is why BME started. So we're
Yeah.
not just an organization. We research and we campaign for positive change. I've
Yeah.
wrote petition to House of Parliament
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
it in 2020. And we even invited the MP as well. And we talked about this strongly with the MP. And I'm glad that the MP is willing to work with us.
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
that's beautiful.
So
is it,
we
is
are
it,
pushing.
is it Tom Hunt?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he
Yes.
just want to work with you.
No, not that I just want to, because I had to sit him down to let him understand this struggle.
'Cause you're so
Because
passionate
majority
about
of-
it.
Yes,
Can I
majority
just
of
ask you,
people
Funmi?
are not aware of this.
Is
Yeah.
there, do you see any logic in the process? Any logic at all? From the, obviously there's two perspectives to everything.
Yeah.
Is there any logic with the process? Because obviously when someone's new coming to the country, there's a certain protocol.
Yes.
Is there any logic do you see that you see in the way that it's, I don't know. Is
That's
there
a
any,
very good question. There is no logic, but the most important one that I'm advocating about
Yeah.
is the people that are here already.
yeah.
I know that the
Okay.
government want to reduce immigration by tens of thousands, which I completely understand. It
Well,
is our
yeah.
duty
Yeah.
to make sure that you safeguard the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my one that I'm continually talking about is the NHS subcharge. So what happened is, I will send you an article written by Guardian newspaper, Sky newspaper, The Union, and all of that. So what happened is, people who have been here for over a decade,
Yeah.
or even 2 decades, they are working, they're paying their taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and just
A
like
vital
the way-
contributions
Exactly.
to society.
Just like the way
Good people.
everybody else in the country, the
That's
British,
right,
the
yeah.
European, the way everybody pays
Yeah.
their taxes.
Hardworking people.
And we know that these taxes goes towards NHS surcharge already. It goes
Okay.
towards NHS.
Yeah.
But what now happen again is, for the particular of people that are still ethnic communities that haven't got indefinite leave to remain in this country,
Okay.
when they want to renew their visa, which is they're renewing for the leave to remain in this country.
Yeah.
They've been asked to pay for NHS subcharge. And if you've been asked, that is even fine. If you've been asked to pay extra, it's okay. If it's like £100 or £200. But no, the government don't make it those prices. And they increase the prices by 66% literally every year. As of last year, it was 620.
I had no idea.
£625 for
Per
1
person?
year. Yeah, for 1 year visa. You have to renew every 2.5 years.
Okay.
So for 1 year, the NHS subcharge they will charge you is 625. So for 2 years is 1,480.
Wow.
But because you're asking for 2.5 years, you have to renew 2.5 years four times to make 10 years before you can get indefinite
And do you
leave.
still pay national insurance?
Yes, you've already paid national insurance and tax from your salary. You will let me finish.
Wow.
this.
Wow. Okay.
So every 2.5 years that you apply to the Home Office to give you the right to continue to work and live in this country, they ask you to pay this NHS subcharge for that 2.5 years visa. And for that 2.5 years visa, it was 624 per year. So 2 years is 248, and 2.5 years is like 2,500. That was as at last year, November. That was last year till November.
Yeah.
But then October last year, February this year,
Yes.
the government increased the price by
Like everything.
66%.
Wow.
And it goes from 2.5 years that you're paying 2,600. They increase 1 year to £1,035.
Wow.
From 625 to 1,035.
That's
So
huge.
for 2 years you pay 2,070.
How-
At 2.5 years you pay £2,600. That's just the NHS
person.
subcharge. Yes.
No.
Without the application fee. The application fee again is 1,048. So people are having to look for nearly £4,000 extra money.
And so without it, what's the consequence?
If you don't renew your paper, you become illegal immigrant.
So if you don't pay for this supplement,
They won't even accept your application. It's a compulsory fee you must pay with your application. As you're applying online for the leave to remain, you pay £1,448, £1,048 for application fee. Before you can proceed further, you must pay that 2,600, which is now 3,600, and that's
and if
the
you're
one.
sick, and if you're sick,
The government don't know whether you're sick. That's even a good question, You're paying all this money, and majority of people that are paying this money, if you fall sick today, you have no recourse.
And
to
you
public
can't
fund.
work.
If I break my leg today, after all the taxes you've paid in national insurance, and even the extra double taxation they've taxed you for the visa that you pay to remain in the country, the government cannot help you.
so if you haven't got your paper saying I have a right to be in this country, I've paid all my supplements and everything, and you're sick and you need to go to get care, will you get help?
That's what the money is for. That's what they're charging the money
Sorry
for.
for me.
Yes.
Please speak to the mic. Please.
That's
I
what
know
they're
the
charging.
question.
Insane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That majority of people don't know this, but it's
No
not only
idea.
to African, even the Americans. We have a lot of Americans in our community.
Americans?
Yes, they are coming here married to British spouse. They still have to pay this NHS subcharge and the application fee for you to continue to stay in the country. So that is the one I'm trying to get the government to look into it, to say it is unfair to ask people who are already in this country, who have already contributed to the economy. They've already paid their tax and national insurance. Why are we asking them to pay 3,000 something again when they want to renew their paper? And this is extra burden. And I'm telling you, people are struggling. People are having to go and borrow loan to pay this money, and by the time you borrow loan for 3 years and you're gonna open for 5 years, including interest,
Jesus.
before you even finish paying in that 5 years, your paper is due to renew again in
and
two
then
and
it's
a half.
a cycle.
So you're in perpetual debt.
Can they? So what? At what point would they say, okay, you're now a citizen of?
You have to
the
do
UK?
that process 4 times.
You can't escape
do that
it.
4 times.
Yes.
You cannot
You have
escape
to
this.
renew 2.5 years 4 times to make a continuous 10 years of you being legal in the country before you can apply for indefinite leave. But if you put that together, the amount of money you will have paid 4 times is over £40,000.
It's
Which
reducing
is
all
big
opportunity.
enough to even deposit for a mortgage.
Yeah.
And that is why
Yeah.
you see black community will continue to struggle.
struggle.
Not because that they're lazy, they're not working, but because of all this extra money that the majority of the people in the country are not aware of, that they are draining people out of it. They started this scheme as a tourist. It started
a bit like
it
most
start-
countries,
yeah.
you have to have a visa.
It
You gotta have a
started,
visa,
this
yeah.
fee, this NHS subcharge was first implemented in 2015 for the people who are coming abroad to use the NHS for free, which is justified and is completely understandable that if you're going to come here and use our NHS service, you should contribute.
Yeah.
But for the people who are already here, who have paid tax and national. So what they've now done is they realize that they've made a lot of money out of this. It has become a source of revenue.
That's all about money.
So they generalize and extend it and say even
That is-
people who have been here already, who are already living, who are base citizens, let's just include everyone into this category and let's just say. So that is the one we are pursuing, that the government should please look into this loophole, because they have now added category of people that shouldn't be added.
No.
It should be people who are just coming in or people who has not contributed to the economy.
Yeah.
But for the people who have
definitely.
contributed,
You're working harder than lots of others.
But think about it, El. Think about it. You here.
Yeah.
And you're paying taxes.
Yeah.
You're paying everything.
You're doing everything that everyone else is
everyone
doing.
else is doing.
But you're still penalized.
Yeah.
You still have to pay that amount. If you don't, you cannot renew your visa.
Wow.
They will not even accept your
That's
application.
blown my mind.
Yeah, so this is why BME started. This is the passion behind to say
That's
there have
amazing.
to be a platform to advocate for people. And it's a knowledge as well. There have to be a platform to educate people. Everywhere I go, I talk about this. When they invite me to BBC, Suffolk Radio, MP, High Sheriff, everyone that I know that can speak on our behalf, I have talked about this. And until we
amazing.
continue to talk about it, nothing is going to change.
No, I think it's important. People know.
Yeah.
They need to know.
Exactly.
I have no idea.
Look at the passion.
Yeah.
It's just generally wanting to help.
Yeah, it's amazing.
The strength.
But I think more people need to.
More people need to.
Yeah.
And that is our job, to educate people. And that is why, for me, BME is not a job. It's a community we've created to actually address people's needs.
Yeah.
It's not a tick box.
No.
For us, it's not. If it's a tick box, I won't be here on Sunday
Yes.
because I'm not
It's got a
supposed to
it
work
has a
on
purpose.
Sunday.
Yeah.
But it's so, but for us, and it's not just only me,
Yeah.
me and the group as well.
Yeah.
We work Saturday, Sunday. It's not that we get paid for it, but because we're passionate to see a positive change within our community,
people.
so that not even for people, for our generation to come,
Without a doubt.
our young people
Yeah.
to come, so
Yeah.
that they don't go
Yeah.
through this process, they don't go through this hardship.
Yeah.
We
That's
make
right.
a positive impact and a
Definitely.
better generation to come.
It bemuses me the fact that these things are still happening
Did you-
It
so
is.
far.
Did you
It-
know what?
It's just like it's
you
insane.
didn't have a clue what's going
No,
on.
and I knew I was going to be like that today. I knew
But
I was
you're
going to
not
be
the
like a
only
rabbit in
one.
headlights.
You're not the only one. Even when the MP came and I was explaining to him himself does not even know that there's
That's-
this particular
that's
group of
crazy.
Speak
people.
on the mic, please.
You know, it's not only you, so I don't want you to feel
Jesus,
bad.
man.
That how come I don't know? There's so many people.
Yeah.
Everywhere I've been through, national platform,
Yeah.
main platform, majority of people don't know this.
No.
And that's the thing, and that's why I keep saying that we will continue to be classified as disadvantaged and marginalized until all these rules that are put into pens and paper and that's been legalized, until they've been reversed.
Yeah.
Because look at the scenario I've just explained to you now. Same person that is doing the same job with you in your workplace, that you're getting the same salary,
Yeah.
they will not be able to even buy a house in 10 years if they have to pay this amount.
No.
Yeah.
Because this is extra savings they could have had to make life better for them and their family.
Yes.
But they can't.
They can't.
That makes complete sense.
Because you will have paid over £40,000.
yeah.
And that's
That is a lot of money.
that's a lot of
That's
money.
a huge deposit on a house.
That's
on a house.
way behind.
And
Yeah.
that will
Yeah.
have put you on a better level, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that is why people are not on a better level.
Right.
And when I go to places and people are asking me, oh, we don't see ethnic community participating. I say, you want to know why? Because people are having to work many jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have all the things that have been put into laws that are draining money out of them that
Yeah.
you don't know about.
And then where's your quality of life?
Exactly. And
That's true.
this
Yeah.
is just
That's true.
as an adult.
Yeah.
These same people will have children in this country.
Yeah.
They will have that one alone it makes me smile every time I talk
Yeah.
about it because I don't understand the logic behind it,
No.
honestly.
Yeah.
The reason why I don't understand is I keep asking everyone, is this even legal?
Yeah.
A child is born in this country with a British birth certificate. But because the parents, at the time they give birth to that child, both parents are not British citizens and they haven't got indefinite leave to remain.
Then
yeah.
they-
But that
Yeah.
child will be classified
Yeah.
as the country of, as the parent's country.
Country.
And
So-
no different
No.
than
No,
to live
And
here.
that child has never lived United Kingdom. They've never even been to Nigeria or
I need
Ghana where their
WhatsApp.
parents comes from. But the Home Office will refer to that child as Ghanaian or Nigerian or wherever their
Or
parents
South
from.
African or yeah.
And even if they do that, that's fine. To me, I even say, okay, let's accept it. It's
Okay,
our
yeah,
cross.
yeah.
But again, they will tell you that a child that is born here with a birth certificate, with the British birth certificate, need to naturalize.
That's crazy.
No, it's true. I'm
That's
not lying.
crazy.
This is online. They'll tell you they need to naturalize. And I'm like, what are they
What
naturalizing?
do they mean by the phrase
They
naturalize?
didn't bring these children were not brought from Africa. They are born
they're
here.
born
What do they
Yeah.
mean naturalize?
So what they've derived again is, immigration has become source of revenue for
Yeah.
the
It is.
ethnic community.
That's crazy.
Because if this is for major community, there will be outrage. There will be outrage. People will be bashing the House of Commons everywhere.
yeah.
So they've got away with this because it affects the minority.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and
If it was everyone, it'd be different.
yes.
Yeah.
But you know what they did again?
Okay.
The
I wanna hear
same child,
this.
the same child that they've classified as the nationality of their parent, they said, oh, you have to nationalize, okay? And we'll be like, okay, how do we go with this naturalization?
Yeah.
Then they come again to say that child, if the parent still does not have indefinite leave, until that parent have indefinite leave, that child cannot apply for British citizen. So it means that child will have to wait 10 years of their life before the parent can even apply for citizenship. Meaning that you cannot take that child out of this country.
What?
You
And
can't.
yes, you can't.
So
And
you
what
can't
that
travel.
means, you
But-
can't travel with
you
that
can't-
child because that child, you take that child
Can't
to
go on holiday.
But
No,
they're telling you the
You're
child.
stuck. You're trapped. You're stuck.
Yes.
You're in prison.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. But they get away with all this atrocity.
How does this one?
I'm
Sorry,
so,
for
oh my God, I'm blown away.
Listen to this, El. Listen to this.
I can't even
right?
believe it.
I cannot
It's
give
true.
the.
If you search it all up, you will find it. I'm not.
Oh
It's
my goodness.
true. And you know what they did to get a British passport? You pay £53, I think, £53 or
Might be a bit
maximum
more than that. That might be a
£70.
renewal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so less is £70.
Yeah.
Right.
But they created another avenue to drain money out of the minority groups again. After
Okay.
they've drained money for their parents,
Right.
that children that are born here,
Yeah.
that have got British birth certificate, when they're now qualified to naturalize, Home Office asks you again to pay 1,000 No, the money is never less than thousands.
Okay.
£1,012 for that child to
have
pay to the Home Office, and Home Office will send you a certificate that will now say this child is now naturalized to be a British citizen, and that's
Wow.
what you will send to the passport office.
And then they get a British
And
passport.
And then they get a British passport. But tell me, in that, where is justice in that? Where is that? That's why I say, is that even legal?
No, it's not.
Because
Because
I
what
don't
have you
understand.
actually done wrong to not be allowed to leave a country? That's something that criminals can't do. They can't leave the country. They have to stay in the country while they're...
What you've done wrong is you've been punished as a child of an immigrant.
Crazy.
This is why BME have to exist.
sorry,
this is
I was
why
born.
Yeah, but my parents were immigrants at the time I was born, and they're not having definite leave to remain.
That's
but then
insane.
that child will be punished for that. And this is why
But
it
the
is
thing-
important we continue to speak
Yes,
about
The
this.
thing
Definitely,
is,
without
they
doubt.
can't give you whatever they need to give you,
Yeah.
but you can't even though take your child to go for a holiday.
But how are you going to take the child? The child has no passport. They're
yeah.
not issuing the child a passport.
Wow.
That's the problem.
Until
That's why you can't
until they're
take the-
10 years old.
Until they're
and then
10
whether or
years
not
old.
you're successful, for example, in your application,
they will
then
give
it
the
doesn't
child.
matter. Their child still
But
is
look
allowed
at that.
Yeah.
10 years of child's life.
Yeah.
Right.
That they keep asking you, why can I not travel?
Yeah.
Or can you imagine
Yeah.
there's a school trip?
Yeah.
And that
They can't
child
go.
is got the
Never
school
even
is
thought
got
about
the
that.
birth certificate of that
Yeah.
child.
Yeah, because
And then the child cannot go. And
Yeah.
this is where self-esteem happens.
Yeah.
This is why that child
And
will
already
feel. And that
you're
is
at a
where the
disadvantage.
sense of belongings affect these children. Because you're
Definitely.
like, why? I was born the same way this
Like,
child was born. I
born.
have the
Yeah,
same birth
same.
certificate.
And what does
Why?
that breed? It breeds
Be-
resentment.
That's the thing.
And then
And age
Frustrations.
frustration and all these things.
Yeah.
But that is why it is important to bring all these things to the table, to
Definitely.
educate people and to see why we must continue to speak
Yeah.
about it. Because it's not just for me, it's not just for the immigrant, but our children are being punished
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well. Just because there are
that's-
there are children of immigrants in this country,
Yeah.
which it shouldn't be.
No,
I
not at
shouldn't
all.
see why a child because even if you take them to the country of their parent, that country, Nigeria now, they will not issue a birth certificate for your child that is not
No,
born in
that's not
Nigeria.
born in Nigeria.
And
yeah.
they're born here. They're
Yeah.
not even being accepted being born here.
no, it's crazy.
So it is a very crazy things that I keep telling people, and that's what I educate people in BME and say,
Yeah.
it's not until something affects you, that's when you should speak. You should speak for the fact that it will affect generations
Yeah.
to come. And it's the same thing. Majority of people don't understand this. And I'm always
Yeah.
saying this constructively with the passion and the love I have to say that we're not setting, what we're doing is we are trying to affect the next generation
Yeah.
with all these
Yeah.
laws and rules, because their parents can accept that, yes, I'm an immigrant, I have to abide the laws and the rules where I am. But when a child is born here and they're not being given the same right as their pair because their
yeah.
parent is immigrant, I think that is really going too far.
It is,
And
it's through
also
no fault of
charging the
theirs.
parent that amount of money. So you can imagine if you have 3 children or 4 children,
Yeah.
and you're having to pay £1,000 each for 4 of those children. That's additional £4,000 again.
It's far too much
On
money.
top of the money you
and
are
that's
paying.
and that's you know bearing in mind if someone's got an averagely good job, earning 30,000, 40,000
How
a year.
many of us have that? How many of us? Even
exactly.
as a graduate, you don't get £30,000.
Ditto. Exactly. I'm a teacher, and
You don't.
We don't.
You have to get
so
to
how can you do that? How
so
can you afford to
That is
live?
why people
Yeah.
continue to struggle.
We talk
I'm
we
sure.
talk about money a lot,
Yeah.
and at points actually for me, I have even with my family considered, right, I don't know if we can afford food this month. Like, we have a mortgage, we have our own mortgage. We're fortunate to have a mortgage.
Exactly.
We worked really, really hard for that, but
Yeah.
we're fortunate to have that. But we don't get any support as a
Yeah.
family. So if
Yeah.
my husband's out of work, because we
Exactly.
own our own home in this country, you don't get
You
help.
don't get
Whereas
help.
for people sometimes that don't work and don't own their own home, they will get supported through that.
I know.
And it's a very strange system. The
It
whole
is.
system is crazy.
It
I was
is.
going to
It's
ask you
rigged.
about your food bank
Yeah.
that you run. This is amazing,
That's it.
amazing. And I really, hats off to you for that, because I know particularly through times like COVID, this was so important for people.
Yeah.
It is.
What really stood out for me is that you do like a specific food bank, which is like an African produce food bank.
She reminds us home.
What's the difference? How's that different to
There is
an
no
average?
different. You see, with BME, every project we establish is the voice of the people.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the way we run in BME.
Yeah.
We never establish any project because we think it's the need.
Yeah.
It's something that we've seen from the
Okay.
people coming to use our service. You know, I founded BME in November 2018, and then it was on a voluntary basis. I was working full time and at the same time building this project to say, let's just see what will come out of this.
Yeah.
So it started as a pilot project for a year. And the first funding we got was from Northwest Ipswich Big Local Trust.
Right.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So I went
Good
to
for
them and I did a presentation to them. I said,
Yeah.
I didn't even say all this immigration thing.
No.
I was just saying to them, for me, because at that time, I used to live in London. You know, all my children were born in London. And then having to move to Ipswich in 2015, it was a different phase. And because I went to college and uni in London, I love London vibe. I always love London.
Yeah.
Even
the
every week.
London
I know. I love London. So sorry, guys. I've been in Ipswich for a decade, but I still love London.
London.
So I kept saying to my kids and said, it's so different here in Ipswich. And one of the things that stood out for me there is, you take your kids to swimming, they'll be the only black child there. Or I take them to cinema, or I take them to different places.
Yeah.
So I
insane.
begin to have curiosity to say, why those people don't come out and get engaged? You know, I registered them for Scout because I love being active. I love exploring. It's one of the things that relaxes me. I'm always imagining how human brain can design a building like this and all sort of things. So I'm very energetic person naturally in my personal life.
Yes, please. I can tell.
So I'm always taking my kids exploring places. We don't sit in the
They
house.
need that.
That's so
important.
but when I take them, when they were still little, my daughter is 15 now and my second one is 12. But at that time they were still very little. I was like, why those people don't get engaged here? Because where I'm coming from, no. People
London,
are engaged, yes. They're engaged, and you don't so. And that was the first thing to say. Okay, let's do a pilot project to find out why are people here not engaging. And that was the presentation I did to Northwest Ipswich.
That's interesting.
And so for a year and for a whole year, I'm always, even my kids, they were co-founders. And so I'm telling you, we're always
That's
carrying
the legacy.
flyers. Yes.
Yeah.
If you ask my daughter today, say, Mom, we've been here from the right time of life with BME.
Yeah.
I'll take them. We're always distributing flyer. I'm always talking to people and say, okay, what is the problem? What is this? What is that? And after that 1 year, we gathered all the information together, and that's when all of these projects started to be established. So when we do, normally we started as a monthly project. So once a month, we come together to talk about the needs, and also I try to find out information available, because majority of the people within the ethnic group, I don't know, maybe because of what they've been through or what they're going through, they've put themselves in a closed system and they don't engage with mainstream organization.
Okay.
They don't. And
do you think it's trust?
Yeah, I don't know. But one of the things I find out is I want to know why. I'm a very curious person. And so from what I've discovered at that time was like, it's not that people don't want to do all these things, but there is no time. And because if you're having to do 2 jobs and 3 jobs and all this
That
9
makes
days.
so much sense.
Yes. So there is no time for you to bring your child to swimming, or there's no time during the week for you to say you're doing a weekly routine a weekly routine of Scout or football or this, because you have to pay this immigration fee that you have to. So all this information was gathered together to say, okay, these are so many limitations people have, why they don't get engaged.
So again, it's not just limiting you, it's limiting your children. Again,
It does.
it's giving them less of a start in life.
Exactly.
Meaning that they're already behind
Yes.
People of the same
if
age.
you can't take them to their activities as well,
they're losing out on opportunity that other people that are the same age as them have all got.
And they always feel like they're second-class citizen. And so it's a circle. So until this same thing that affects everyone is addressed, we won't see much changes in whatever we're trying to implement, whether in mainstream or whether in a little stream or grassroots, until the law that is above every one of us change.
Yeah.
And people can be free.
Yeah, of course.
Then you can see change.
Sorry.
Yeah,
but
go on.
I'm just so blown away by all of this. The money for the NHS, this supplement, and then the passport, these are two parts of what's causing massive issues, financially. You talk about many.
Yeah.
There are many more of
There's
these.
so many more. There's
Really?
many more. But today we're not.
No.
There is no time to
of
address
course
many
not.
more.
But it would be really great.
But let me just quickly finish this to get to the food bank question
Yeah, of
you
course.
asked. So like I said, from when we do all this information, and then people are coming to us to say, look, I cannot afford my traditional food.
Yeah.
And this is who I am. I want to pass it to my children.
Yeah.
And this is genuine truth from people.
Yeah.
Because to buy an African food is very expensive.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to
It
say,
is.
but
It's
it is
triple
very
times the price.
It's triple times the price.
Triple times the
and
price.
this is part of many challenges as well, because if you're not even having any money left, how can you afford this?
Yeah.
So, and that is where Food Bank, we launched our African Food Bank in 2020, just before COVID, because BME started in 2018, and we did a pilot project for a year. So at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, we did the end of the project report, and we begin to work on the second phase to establish all these projects that have been the voice of the people.
Yeah.
So one of the projects was the food bank.
Yeah.
So we thought, okay, how can we help? We cannot change the law. We don't have the money to give people to pay for all these bills. We don't have this. What can we do? If we're able to look for funding and create a food bank that is open to all, if you're from wider community, we give continental food. And if from ethnic community, we had additional traditional food.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what we've been doing now for 4 years. So if we receive referrals from Portuguese, African, Caribbean, the funding we have, we'll go and buy plantain, yam, chili pepper, black eyed beans, lentils, okra.
That's amazing.
African
Anyone
noodles.
who wants to go to
will
the
add it to
Yeah.
African,
it. Exactly, we will
Yeah.
add it to it
Okay.
because that's part of who they
Yeah.
are, and that's part
And
of
why
we
should
can-
they lose that?
exactly.
Yeah.
But because it's so expensive,
Yeah.
you cannot feed a family of 4 on African food. You will pay nothing less than £50.
Who's qualifying for a food bank?
Everyone
In
is
what
qualified.
Everyone.
Everyone is
So
qualified.
even if obviously you have to be in a certain financial situation.
Yeah.
Everyone is qualified. So what we did is we believe that, and for the particular of people that we serve, it takes a lot of courage, I'm really sorry to say, for ethnic community to seek for help.
Yeah.
Because we didn't grow up in that system knowing that
That's
there
the
is
thing,
help.
yeah. No.
And so we believe that when people actually do summon courage to ask for help, there's no need for you to stress them. That is
Yeah.
why we make all our service accessible.
Okay.
We haven't created 10800 number that you will call forever and
Okay.
you wouldn't get through to anyone. We have a mobile number and a landline, and our door is open Monday to Friday.
Okay.
So you can literally walk in and say, I'm struggling, I have no food.
Because
We will give you food the first time.
most food banks in the UK, there's a massive process.
No.
You have to sign up. You say,
We
I don't
don't have
earn this much.
massive
I earn this
process.
much money. I
So
don't have
what
enough.
we do is, for the first time you come to us and you ask for food, we give you food.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if it's then a regular support you need,
Yeah.
we ask that you show us proof of hardship, because we have to be able to evidence to
Yeah.
Suffolk County Council that give us the canned food and pallet food and other funders that,
Yeah.
okay, the reason why we're continuing to support this person is because this is the problem. Their situation hasn't improved.
Okay.
Let's say you were working full time and you
Okay,
got
that makes
sick
sense.
and you're not able to work full time,
Yeah.
then we can say, yes, we will set up, we can give you food every 2 weeks until your health improve, or maybe you were made redundant at that time, you have no
Yeah.
money. So that's what we do. But we
Okay.
don't make a ridiculous process
No,
that
that's
just
great.
stress people out.
Because already people feel a sense of, they feel a bit ashamed of having to ask.
Already, especially within the ethnic community, because we grew up in a system where there is no welfare system. So they believe, like in my country, like they always say, if you don't work, you don't eat.
Yeah.
That's what they believe. So for them to even ask for help, it has gone to that point that they have lowered their pride to be able to ask for help. And the least you can do is to make them not feel bad to ask for support.
Not add an extra thing to the dynamic.
And that is why the food we give at BME, I'm super proud of it. It's the food that we ourselves can eat.
Yeah.
And that is why I work so hard and the team works so hard to make sure that any funding we get, we just don't give canned food. We give balanced diet food.
So you're getting fresh
so
food
we
as
buy
well.
fruit, we
Amazing.
have potato, carrot, cucumbers, we buy veg, we buy traditional food, so that people can actually give kids a decent food for
the
few
stuff
days.
is good as well.
You know, I've spoken to Cedric about this before, and, you know, just talking on everyone's behalf that struggles with financial situation. When you're trying to provide for a family, it's cheaper to eat frozen food, processed food. And I find that really sad, that you can't have healthy fresh fruit, fresh vegetables unless you've got money.
It's expensive.
You have to be in a
It's
certain
expensive.
position
It's
in life.
true. And this is what I keep saying, that I went to a meeting the other day and I said, out of all the people that are sitting in leadership role, I was like, how are we ever going to implement a policy that actually reflect what grassroots community is going through? When all the people that are here, they don't even know the price of what milk or bread or this thing is. I'm not trying to criticize, but I'm just saying
They
that
probably don't.
But the thing is,
we need people that have work with
But
people
Funmi,
every day
Funmi.
to see their struggle. I see tears, people's
Definitely.
tears every day, and I try my best, the little I can, to wipe those tears away. And sometimes when you do the smallest things that you think you're doing for people, when they write down feedback, because we always ask for feedback for every service, you read it and tears roll out of your eyes and say, really, is this bad?
Yeah.
But sorry for me, the people in leadership, do they listen though?
They do listen, but the problem is, leadership is not just one person making a decision.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It has to be authorized from one level to another level to another level.
And is that
And
transferred
is that
in the passionate way that you've
and that's
just
when the
communicated
focus is
it?
lost.
Yeah.
Because when a decision is taking different stages, then the people who are really passionate about
just
it, guys,
getting filtered
preventing,
and filtered.
yes, it gets reduced.
Yeah.
But we are making progress.
Yeah.
We are making progress, honestly.
Thank
we
God
are
for
making progress. But until the thing I keep telling people is, for us to continue to make that progress, we have to continue to talk about it.
Yeah.
These are difficult things to talk about, but it needs to be addressed. Not because of us, not because of you, but because of the generation to come.
Yeah.
Because if we're saying that we're trying to build a country, a community that is inclusive, that is accepting, that is this, we need to make sure that everybody gets a fair share
Definitely.
of what they've put into the system.
Yeah.
And this is why what we do at BME, we do it. So that's how Food Bank was established.
Yeah.
Young people, our youth session was established at the same year as well, because we have a lot of immigrants that came in and that was referred to us from different churches, from many African, Caribbean, and other multi-faith church to us. And what we found out is most of these parents came with their teenagers into the country.
Okay.
And the teenagers, because they don't understand the way the system works. We had 2 kids at that time that every day they're in detention. And I'm like, how is it possible that a child is in detention every day? Something is wrong.
Yeah.
And so this is the beauty of working as community grassroots,
you're
because
going
we
into
have
schools.
because we have the direct relationship with the parent
With the-
and also with the child. And we were able to say, okay, But because the parents too, they're just coming in and they're hustling to be able to work many jobs to renew their papers, so they don't know the way the educational system works. And even when the child come back and explain something, you know, they don't know what to do.
No.
So what we do is we follow them to school and said, okay, what exactly is the problem? Why is this child in detention all the time? And that was how youth session started with us.
Wow.
It's not something we plan. It's not something. No. So that is why I said every project we initiate, and we were so blessed. We had Sergio at the time. Sergio Prater, he was a youth leader. He was a professional youth leader, fantastic youth leader. Yeah. And he was doing a lot of mentoring and advocacy for us at the time. And then, you know, we were successful.
What
and
was
we
going on with
there
this?
were so many things. First, there were cultural differences.
Yeah.
Like the teacher's talking to the child and the child is looking down. In British culture, it's classified as being rude. But in African culture, it's not. Because growing up, you're not allowed to look up to your parents when they're talking to you. You have to look down. So we have to
part of respect.
It's part of respect. And so there's so many things that he's doing that he think he's doing, or the child think he's doing okay from where he's coming from. But completely different here. So, and if you don't come from those kind of community group, you yourself will not understand.
And
I had no idea. See, I'm a teacher. I didn't know that.
So you know, and
I had no idea. I think a child was being rude if they weren't looking at me.
But they're not. They're not. It's completely
Thank you so much.
opposite.
She's a teacher.
I had no idea.
It's complete opposite. You know,
No
like
idea.
you're talking to a child. Let me tell you another one. You're talking to a child, and they're not answering you. You're like, I'm talking to you. Why are you not answering?
You don't
It's
have
rude.
to answer. That's rude.
In British culture, you're being asked to answer. But in African culture, it's a
you
rhetorical
answer
question.
me.
You're not meant to reply back.
It's rhetorical.
Yes.
Yep.
I don't understand.
So you know, the cultural difference is like if I'm talking to my children and they're replying
answer
me,
back.
I get so mad. It's like, you're not supposed to be replying me. Because that's the way
You're
it
asking
is.
a question.
But that's the way it is.
It's
They're
crazy.
asking you a question, but they're not expecting you to answer. But because you answering back is disrespect.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
I know that.
So
I know that one.
Sometimes I ask my children questions rhetorically, and they know that I do that, but they answer back in a rude, to be rude.
Yeah, exactly.
But most of the time I ask them a question because I want them to answer me.
But no,
that's
in
crazy.
African culture, it's completely different.
So how do you know
they
when
don't
that?
need your opinion. That's the thing. You're not.
But there must be times when you're asking them a question.
Your opinion is not needed. When your opinion is needed,
I can be
there
mad.
is another way they will ask you that question.
So how will a child know when they should answer?
You will know because
tone.
you grew up. The tone, the body language, the gesture. You will know that. Okay, now it's my turn.
Okay.
And they will ask you directly. They will call you. Oh yeah, come here.
Yeah.
What is this? It means you need you to reply. But when they're upset and they're asking you something, it's a different tone.
Give me an example.
Oh, okay. Now you want me to speak my language because I can't say it in English. It's just one flow.
So show me a rhetorical versus a real question.
You know, like if Harry is upsetting me now, I say, okay, oh yeah, Harry, bossy B, what kilo it means why are you doing this after I've asked you not to do it? That
but you don't want to answer.
I'm being straight. I'm asking, why is this like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if I don't want you to answer, I'll call you. It means you're just talking randomly.
Yeah.
But you're not asking them to reply.
Okay.
But if they reply in that moment, they're looking for your trouble.
Okay.
Oh yes, please. I know
That's
that
the thing.
one.
So when a child go to school and the teacher just continue to talk and they just silent there.
Because
It's
they
not
don't
that.
understand their
Because
tone yet.
at
They've
that
not
point,
learned that.
They don't understand that the teacher want them to reply because where they're coming from, when their parents continue to go on and on and on about something, you're not meant to
Especially
answer.
coming here as a teenager, you've learnt your ways, you're growing up, you've learnt what you should and shouldn't do, how you should act.
And you know, again, another thing we found out again is when we started doing youth work, we realized that most kids get into trouble in school, not because they want to, but because there's no social activities.
Yeah.
You know, we interviewed the same teenagers we were working with at the time. I said, why are you always angry? And it's because it's been drawn out. You even told us, I never said I want to come to this country in the first place.
Yeah.
So he's already upset that they drag him compulsorily from
away
where
from
he's
everything.
coming from.
Everything.
And then he got here, he didn't have the chance to do the things he was doing freely back home.
Yeah.
Because the parents were too busy working. They don't have the
They're busy
time
now,
to take
yeah.
that child to the football he loves to play every time. And because it's not free. In
They're
Africa,
paying the supplements.
so you can play football for
But
free
this
with
is
your
what-
friends outside your
Yeah,
building.
yeah.
But
Here
you
you
can't do
can't.
that.
This is what fusses me, right?
You know?
Listen to this, Adam. This is what fusses. Like all these government encourage that family comes first. Spend
Yeah.
time with your family. Do things
Sounds
with
like a
your
joke
family.
now.
But on the other side, you have to work these long hours.
Yeah.
I know.
You work these long hours, and then what do you do with your
When are
family?
you going to
then?
spend
It's
time?
not
Where you
even
gonna-
the hours alone, the money.
It's the
you
money.
need to register a child
Yeah.
into football. You have to pay subscription every
Oh,
month.
yeah.
You have to pay this. So people don't even have the money. The parents are busy working. So, and he told her, all I do is go to school, go to church. The other one said, all I got to do is go to school, go to mosque,
Yeah.
nothing else.
I just want to have fun.
Exactly.
I
So
just
that
wanna do
is why
something.
we come in and say,
Yeah.
how can
Yeah.
we solve the problem?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we are doing it. And I'm so proud of what we
So
do
what
with
are you
young people.
doing? What are you doing with
So
young
with
people?
the funding we receive, we always apply for funding for young people.
Yeah.
With the funding we receive, we use the money to pay for activities for
Right.
these
Excellent.
kids. We take them swimming, we pay for it. We take them to cinema, to bowling.
Amazing.
During the holidays, we
Yeah.
hire a minibus and take kids on an outdoor trip.
Beautiful.
We went to
Brilliant.
Flatfoot the other time. We went to Brandon Country Park. We've been to animal stock.
I've seen some pictures.
Stock
Yeah.
park.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
go different places, and you begin to see that these kids are actually happy,
Thriving.
because it's better than just sitting down at home playing
Yeah.
games all
Of course
day.
it is.
And so all these small things are the things that grassroots community we do that mainstream organization are not able to do. And that was how our youth session started, and many more projects.
Funmi,
we
what
have
about Ipswich
established.
Town Football Club? Wouldn't it be amazing, because they've got like new ownership and they have a lot of money.
Do you know how difficult it is to get into Ipswich Town football?
But you know,
Even the small one next to my house there, Whitting, even just Whitting.
Your son is a footballer, isn't it?
he plays football.
He
but-
plays football.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, they've got money. This club have got money. They're doing projects for the community. They are doing charity projects. Wouldn't it be interesting for you
we-
to ask for?
If we know someone that we can go and tell
Definitely.
them about our project, and they're willing
You
to
know
support
people,
This
us.
is
Al.
important. I
So
mean,
if you
You
know,
know
if you
people,
can
Al.
support us,
not in high places.
places.
Not in high places, but I could,
If you,
For me-
if you tell them about who we are,
I'll
what
try.
we do,
For
and
me-
they reach out to us.
Hey, we're telling them now.
our
We're telling
door
them
is
now,
always
right?
open.
For me,
Definitely.
I'm still playing
does.
lottery.
Yeah.
If I win the lottery, I will fund.
Well, you get national lottery funding? I've
Yes,
heard?
National Lottery
Yeah.
Funding gave us 3 years
Ah,
funding.
shout out
and
to
that's,
them.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
That's
shout out to
fantastic.
them.
And they're one of the best funders that actually don't stress you too much with paperwork. They actually allow you time to actually do the project.
That's
Another
brilliant.
thing I found with most funders is there's too much paperwork that you have to submit every 3 months, 6 months. You don't even have
You've got
to,
a full-time job. You're trying to.
Exactly. They don't give you enough time to actually run the project. So
Yeah.
less
Why?
paperwork and less report would be good. But National Lottery, fantastic.
Yeah.
Shout out to
They're
that, man.
fantastic.
Can we give
and-
them a round of applause,
Yes,
man?
yeah,
Shout
they're
out to the
fantastic.
lottery,
brilliant.
Because
lottery.
without them, we wouldn't. Yes, without them, we wouldn't have the community center
No.
we have. And that community center, when I look at the signing book, the thousands of people that have come into that place and their life have changed.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is amazing.
That's what you need. That's what it's all
And
about, isn't
yes,
it?
and it's not just for one particular group of people. BME is not for women alone or men alone. We cater for everyone.
Yeah.
Every other Monday, we have baby and toddlers group,
Yeah.
as well as food bank. On Tuesday, we're open for the drop-in session. Wednesday, Wednesday we have the food bank as well. Thursday we have the mental health group.
Yeah, that's
Friday,
really interesting to me. The mental health, was it just is it men's mental health or is it mental health in general?
Mental health in
Which
general.
I talk about a lot actually with how
Yeah.
rife mental health is for
Yeah.
people, and I don't know how much time you've got.
Yes, I think we've gone.
Yeah. Okay.
Time. Yeah.
Maybe we could have you back.
tell you what,
I'm more than
I'd
happy
love
to
to have you
come
back.
The
back.
information we just got is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And we're really, 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 really... Can you come back?
Yes, and
That
we're
would
more
be
than
wonderful.
happy to come back.
But for me, we've got a bit of a gift for you. What we like to do is appreciate people that do things for society that, you know, are selfless, just because you're passionate and you want to just make a difference.
Yeah.
So, Edma, would you grab the gift, please, for Funmi?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Listen, the mic do appreciate people who do things for others.
Oh, okay.
And these were made specially to say
appreciate
thank you.
Thank you very much. Wow. This
To
is
say
amazing.
these were done by
Yeah, Active Blooms. Active Blooms
the Acton
made. Yeah,
Blooms.
Wow.
They
Thank
came
you.
on board
This is really
and she's
nice.
made that for
and
you.
they made
you.
this for you just to say thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
everything.
you. Thank you for having me.
To
Every
be honest-
platform, I'm always, to me, any platform anyone gives or call out, we just go.
Yeah.
Because the only way you can continue to exist
Yeah.
is by telling people who you are and what you do.
Yes.
And the information we share together.
And
Look at how
educating us.
much we have talked about today.
Yeah.
At least you've gained something. I've gained something from you guys as well. So that is what it's all
Yeah.
about. Sharing information that are important and sharing ideas that can transform lives.
Yeah.
And that's what we do with BME. Everything we do, we share information and we make sure that we support people from that grass level till they're able to stand up back on their
Yeah.
feet. And that's what we do. It's not just a tick box. You know, people come for food bank, and by the time we realize they come with one problem, then
Yeah.
we realize that they have all the problems, and we would make sure we
It's
touch
hidden.
each of
Yeah.
those problems.
Hidden problem.
And yes, each of those problems until they're able to stand back on their feet.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why we've been successful as well in the last 5 years of running this is because people see the genuinity in what we do. They see the empathy. You know, people see the genuinity, they see the empathy, they see the passion, and they see it as family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you look at so many
To
feedbacks we've
gain that
received,
quality of life.
people say this is home because there's no way you will come to us, no matter who you are, no matter where you've come from, no matter what you're going through. All of our staffs and our volunteer will make sure that you're being accepted into a group of people that you can call family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So BME is not just a registered organization. We're a family.
Yeah.
I've
that's
made so
beautiful.
many friends as well as people that have become sisters to me.
Yeah.
And you know, people can say, "Oh, I'm not well in the hospital," or this. Within twinkle of an eye, you see people coming to take food there. People will arrange to pick your kids for you. They will stay with the children.
Yeah.
They'll drop the kids off for you. You know.
So it's
That is what
it's a real
family
community.
is.
That is
Yes.
a real
Yeah.
family, and
That's what we've created. We've
Yeah.
created a masterpiece family.
Yeah.
That people will
Come
go
on, you
out
gotta
of
give
their
a round of
way.
applause for that.
a masterpiece. I love that.
It
It's a
is.
masterpiece.
I'm passionate and I
Yeah.
can say with my full
She's
chest
on fire,
that we
man.
have created a masterpiece family
Yeah.
community that you
Oh,
can
man.
rely on any day, anytime.
Anytime.
Amazing.
And it's not, you'll be amazed. Men, women, children, young people, elderly.
Yeah.
Everyone is in tune
Yeah.
to see life transform. We have a triplet that came, first time of me seeing
Wow,
a triplet.
wow.
Triplet?
Yes. You know, we have set of twins, we have elders, we have so many people
Yeah.
that when the other day you came, even actually when
I
Cedric
came.
came, you met someone from Namibia, Uganda, Nigeria,
Amazing.
Jamaica.
Wow.
Different nationality
Yeah.
comes, and when you come together with good mind, with the same focus, you move mountains, and
Yeah.
that's where we
This-
won the award.
yeah.
I love that.
The award we won in
I
the
love that.
category we won, it says Together award.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this was because everybody put pen on paper and said, this group has done this, they've done this, they've done this, they've done this. We are stronger
Together.
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 And we are doing
I
it.
love it.
A big shout out to BME.
shout out to
Amazing.
them.
Thank you,
Amazing
Funmi.
team.
Thank you so
Amazing
much.
team.
I tell you what,
Amazing team.
Funmi,
Amazing
this
team.
passion, man.
Yeah.
I really admire you. And me and my team and everyone, we're so grateful to have you.
Thank you so much.
We're
I'm
so
honored to be
we're
here.
so
You
grateful.
don't need to be grateful. I'm
No, we're
pleased
so
to be here.
because there's a lot of information we didn't know about.
So thank you for educating us.
Yes.
We really
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
having
and
me.
how can people get hold of
Yeah.
your center? And
Yeah, so yes, if people need support, like I said, our phone number is it's a mobile phone and a landline. They can call 074-926-91190, or they can call the office number 01473-210-176,
Right.
or they can send an email to info@bmesuffolk.org. If you want to find out about what we've been doing, this is not a tick box. It's a real life change.
This
check
is
check
real,
our,
man.
Definitely.
check
This
our
is
Facebook
real.
page. It's updated every week.
don't
Our
even check
Instagram.
out. Come
Don't
in.
think about it.
Come
Just
in.
do it.
Come
and,
in.
and just come in. Just
come in.
come in and you feel welcome.
Yeah.
And the cafe, we have a community cafe that people can
Cheaper
come in.
price as well.
Yeah, the drinks is
Very
£1.
cheap.
The drinks
We'll
is
be
£1
there.
and
I'll
the
be there.
and the
Yeah.
snacks is 50p. And then you have the free Wi-Fi. There's TV. There's nice sofa. There's games of different countries you can play, and it has all the flags in there as well. And then you can
Amazing.
put your signature on the wall to say, "Tell me." I'm asking everyone that comes in, how do you say
Beautiful.
welcome in your language?
Excellent.
So we've got welcome in
Amazing.
English as a bold one, and then
Yeah.
you'll be amazed how much nationalities on that board,
Yeah.
from Syria to Iraq to Egypt to Nigeria, Namibia,
That's amazing.
Portuguese. So it's just beautiful
Yeah.
atmosphere. And so
I
feel free
really,
to just come.
really urge people to go.
Yeah.
Come in to BME and
Where is
you know,
this? Where is
spend
it?
time.
Yes,
Where's the
we're
cafe?
at Unit 5 Coachman Court, Old Katu Market. We're just behind Old Katu Market bus station.
Yeah.
So it's a 2-story building. Once again, thank you to National Lottery for helping us to get that building
Shout
as a
out
community
to them,
center.
brilliant.
National
And
Lottery, shout
yes,
out, man.
thank you. It's transforming life, and you know we are just in the middle of job centers. Job centers send clients to
Yeah.
us. Ipswich Citizen Advice. We get referrals every day, every time people walk in, and they get the support they need instantly.
Yeah.
So yes, we're just behind the Old Katu Market. It's a community center. On the ground floor, you have the cafe and the food bank, and upstairs we have a library with diverse books.
wow.
We have a youth center. We have the office team. So just pop in, really.
Yeah.
Yes,
Amazing.
you can't miss it.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for
Jesus
thank you for
Christ,
educating
man.
me. I really appreciate it.
Oh,
Hope
man.
to meet you again and enjoy your flowers.
Yes,
Oh,
I
this
will
were made for
definitely.
you.
Thank
Ladies
you.
and gentlemen,
Thank
give
you.
it up for me in the
Funmi.
house. Yes, man. Beautiful. This is wonderful.
Thank you very much.
We shut the show now.
Me want my dad, give me to my wee, wee. Me want my dad, give me to my wee. Me want my dad, give me to my wee.